And so you can stay sitting or laying. And we're going to start to deepen our breath through the belly and into the whole body with each breath in. And each breath out, let the belly move slowly inwards and exhale as far as you can without any tension, without any stress. Ride a very gentle wave of your breath now, but a very deep wave. And explore with the breath the range, how much you can breathe in and out, almost like you're riding your breath. And exploring to relax any tensions in the body, soften and relax the mind, soften the face, the shoulders, and the hips. And possibly allowing movement, allow freedom and softness through the feeling of your body. Possibly some small movements, exploring where does the spine shine? Where do you feel light and reaching and blossoming through your spine? And settling more to that position. Going back again to the breath itself and the energy shining through the spine. From your tail to your head. And from your head to your tail. Inhaling to the belly, filling up to the head and even past the head. And exhaling from the head down to the ground and even through to the center of the earth. Let's do that a few more times on your own. No matter how much we exhale, keep the spine tall. When we inhale, start gentle. 2 more rounds. It's a very simple technique you can use to make your breath longer while we practice. And we make some slight squeeze through the muscles of our throat to draw the breath through a smaller passage and the breath getting longer and longer as you do this. Let's just do 2 or 3 more rounds of mindful deep breathing, 4 parts of your breath. The way we can use this throat technique at the same time is while you're breathing, try to make a sound in your throat. If you don't know how to do it, the sound is similar to exhaling from the mouth, like a soft ha sound, drawn out long, like you would fog a mirror. And then you make the same feeling in your throat, but you breathe through your nose, and that sound and feeling will stay there while you breathe in or out. If it's hard to do, try exhaling through the mouth to get the feeling, and then try again breathing through the nose with the same or similar feeling. And transition here, we're going to take your deepest, fullest breath that you can. It can be when you're ready. Hold that breath in as long as you feel comfortable, and then slowly let it out. Fill up all the way and hold as long as you can. If you feel any tension or discomfort around your heart, you can release and do it again. As we're holding, relax what you can. At the same time, feel lift and squeezing gently upwards. And if you haven't already, you can soften and release. Feeling our hands, let's place the hands together at the heart level. Gentle touch, feeling as if you could feel the fingerprints, the texture of your hands, those lines and patterns. And if that detail was a level of awareness about our own body, I want you to bring that same level of awareness with your breath now, breathing that level of detail through your hands, through your arms, your bones, your muscles, your skin, to your shoulders, through your whole body, to the surface of your skin and the deepest organs and the spine. And we'll chant Om 3 times before we move into poses and stretches. Start the inhale to the belly. With your next exhalation, slowly release your hands, open your eyes. And we're going to move to hands and knees first. Take your time, stretch out and move. Anytime in the practice today, if you need to continue finding where you can feel the pose works for you without pain or discomfort to your joints. If it's just challenging, try to hold in the pose of the exercise. And start to move for our spine, cow and cat. So we're going to exhale, push the ground away. Inhale, drop through the chest, the belly. Lift your chin, lift your tail. And exhale, round the back slowly, sequentially through your vertebrae. Inhale, lift slowly, belly to the floor, tail to the sky. And exhale, round the back and push. One more time. Inhale, lift the head, lift the tail. And exhale, round the back. Now let's come to a neutral spine again. And we're going to try adding 2 things to this really simple exercise. The first is going to be a little bit of internal rotation for your hips. So if you look at your legs, that will mean that your knees are closer together than your feet. Okay, your feet are a little bit out, your knees are a little bit in, not too much. And then the other thing is, we're going to try to start the movement from the tail. So if I'm in a more neutral position, I want the tail to move up, 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 and then the movement comes up through the spine. And then when I go to tuck, I'm going to tuck the tail, and the movement's going to come through the spine up to the head. Inhale, the tail moves, and the rest of the spine starts to transform or follow. And exhale, the tail moves, and the rest of the spine follows. A few more times like this. And even if you don't literally feel it, like one vertebrae is first and then the next, just take the general idea and flow through your spine. Make it as smooth as you can. One more time. And exhale, rounds from the tail to the head, push. Okay, and then we'll relax. Point the toes if they aren't already. Sit back slowly to your heels. Inhale, raise the arms up. And we'll have our palms out, the back of the hands together. Cross your right wrist over your left and interlace your fingers. Take an inhale. Exhale, curl down with your arms and then your head to the ground. Inhale, lift up, arms out. When we stand onto our knees, lift up, push the knees straight down as you reach up through your heart, back through your arms. Exhaling, down, and squeezing in. Inhaling up, reaching up and out. Exhale, squeeze down to the navel. Last 3 times as you continue. Full breath and complete exhale. Really empty the lungs. You can even exhale through the mouth when you do these flexion movements. Last one. And squeeze and everything else. Coming out with our arms. And exhale. Let's come to downward facing dog. So we place our hands down wide. Tuck the toes. Move up and back through your hips. Keep the knees maybe a little bit bent in the beginning, unless you feel really easy to straighten. And keep reaching to the spine straight. We'll take a minute here. You're also welcome to gently move or alternate bending the knees. Feel your shoulders. Feel anywhere in your body which is naturally bringing attention to it. So we start to expand our energy and move that awareness and even kind of self-care or self-love in the practice that we generate throughout the whole body. So give attention to that thing, but at the same time, work with everything together. Invite that one thing to join the whole party. Okay, from here, exhale, bending our knees. Inhale, small steps. We're going to walk to the front of our mat, feet parallel, and lift up halfway until our spine is flat or straight. It's called flat back. Exhale, bend the knees and fold down. We're going to go all the way up. Inhale, push through your feet, reach your arms wide and up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Just taking closed eyes for a moment. Feeling our posture. Keep your breath flowing, maybe a little slower. Still with that sound in the throat. It's called Ujjayi breathing. Lengthening our breath, keeping us focused. In a way that feels not so effort, try to stand a little taller. And a lot of it comes from hugging to the middle of your own body. And as we hug to the middle, we push down through our legs. The crown of the head is lightly going upwards. With the next exhale, release the hands. And we'll do a few rounds of classic sun salutations. With the inhalation, slowly reaching all the way up. Exhaling, folding down all the way. Inhaling, left leg is going to take a big step back as we drop down to our knee, lift to our chest and our chin. Then exhaling, step back to downward facing dog. We're going to take one breath in. Then exhale, knees down, chest and chin down, or any kind of low push-up position that you feel comfortable. Inhale, lift through the chest, push the floor away. Try to come up to straight arms, and we're on our knees. We're on our knees and lifting up. You could also do cobra with the pubic bone down. This is a modified cobra, let's call it. And exhaling, push back to the downward facing dog. And now we're going to inhale, left leg forward. It helps to come under the fingertips if possible, or sometimes use blocks or props to make it easier to step forward. And that's continuing to the lunge. Lift the heart. Exhale, hands down and step forward again to the front. Fold. Inhale, lift all the way up, raise your arms. Arch, look up and back. And exhale, mountain, hands to your heart. Inhale, reaching up. Exhaling, folding down. Inhale, right leg, big step back. Drop down to your hips, your knee lift and look up. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Take one deep inhale here. And exhale, low push up on the knees. Forward and down. Inhale, slide and lift the chest. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog. And inhale, right leg step forward. Lift the chest and the chin. Exhale, feet step forward, fold. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart center. 2 more rounds. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding down. Left leg, inhale back. Exhale, downward dog, right leg back. 1 deep breath in. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or low push up. That would be the order that we come down. Knees, chest, and then chin touch the floor. Inhale, slide and lift your chest. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg step forward. Exhale, right foot step forward and fold. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, mountain pose with your hands at your heart. Last round. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, folding down. Right leg back, inhale. Left leg back, down dog. Full inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin to the floor. Inhale, lift the heart. Push the ground. And exhale, push back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward. Might have been left foot actually, but both sides are getting done. And exhale, left foot forward and fold. Inhale, lifting all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart and mountain pose. Now, next position, we're going to hold on a balance in the high lunge pose. So you can start from the front of your mats. We'll drop the hands. If you have a hard time to balance in a lunge position with the heel up, you may want to use some support like a chair or something nearby and focus more on the foundation. If you're pretty easy with the foundation, or how do we get easy with the foundation? Seems too complicated for how simple it is, or maybe too simple for how complicated it is. Squeeze the big toe into the ground. use the inner thigh, a little bit hugging as if this leg is coming into the body. And the left foot, push back through the heel and squeeze the quadriceps on the front thigh. So the leg should be very firm, and at least from front to back, we should feel very solid. Okay. From there, if you want to work more on the upper part, we have the stability. Inhale to reach up through the arms, and exhale like you're doing a pull-up. You pull your arms down wide and lift your chin. Inhale the arms up. Chin could also go down optionally here. And exhale, pull the arms down. We'll do 3 more. Or you can hold, wherever you can hold. 2, inhale. Last 1, hold, reach, inhale. 5 breaths more. Just try to hold and lengthen your breath as best you can. And we want to make some heat and intensity sometimes, and we also want to surrender and release sometimes. So we're going to do both a bit. Try to get that experience of transition and contrast and perspective. Let's take the next exhale. Turn your body to the side and straighten the leg. And we're going to do triangle pose like we did in the first Zoom class. You can start by shifting from the pelvis as we reach. Inhale up. Exhale, reach. Drop the hand down a little further. We'll come to our ankle, foot, or the floor, and look up to the left hand. Breathe. Exaggerate the breath. If it's difficult to breathe, you can try to exaggerate it a little bit. If that's not working, or if it's too tight, make the pose easier. Some higher position, less stretch, less strength, easier to breathe. And we're going to go to warrior 1 from here. So we're going to come back into bending our knee and sweeping our arms, and the heel, left heel, stays down. Your left foot, you're trying to push the small toe side of your left foot down into the ground. So the inner leg, the inner thigh, inner knee, everything is kind of lifting a little bit further away from the floor. Take the next exhale, bring the hands all the way down, and we're going to step back to down dog. And let's come 1 inhale here in down dog. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. We'll push up. Inhale, lift the heart. And exhale, push back to downward facing dog once again. Full inhale, lift through your tail as you inhale in down dog. Try to reach the tail up. Exhale, bend your knees halfway. You can also hop or walk to the front, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. And mountain, hands at your heart, exhale. Okay, and then we prepare for our high lunge on the second side. The right leg coming far back, hands down or support, so you can work more on the stability and the balance of the lower body. And again, main points, left big toe, squeeze the ground. And simplifying the hips, scissor the hips in. Try to create support kind of coming from underneath of the pelvis, from the legs. Push the right heel back to stretch. You're taking the option, inhale the arms up. And exhale like a pull up. Reach back with your elbows as you pull down. Inhale, reach further up. Exhale, pull down. Open the chest, open the heart. 3 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull. And 1, reach and hold. 5 breaths here. And as you're finishing, exhale, turn and straighten the leg. Okay, and again, triangle, moving from our hips. Our right foot, make sure your right foot's not pointing behind you. It's a little bit more towards the front still. And then start to move from the pelvis as we exhale, reaching. Inhale, coming up a few times. Try just to pelvis tilt and reach. And coming down. Looking up to your hands. Keep the breath flowing. Stay active through your legs. If you feel any part where a joint is talking to you and saying it doesn't like something, like maybe back of the knee, you can bend the knee. Maybe above the hip, a little higher. Find where you can be for the pose for a long time with the deep breath. From here, exhale, sweep the arm, bend the knee, keep the legs strong, and inhale to warrior 1. Holding and breathing. Push the small toe side of your right foot into the mat. Make your foot like a suction cup. Last breath or two. And exhaling, slowly coming down to the ground. Stepping back to down dog. Exhaling, knees, chest, chin, coming through the low push-up position. Inhale, chest up. And exhale, pushing back to downward facing dog. Let's take the next exhale, bend the knees halfway again. Inhale, walk or hop to the front, flat back. Exhale, folding down. And stay a little longer in the forward bend this time. Use your exhales to curl into yourself, lean forward. Inhales, let space happen. 2 or 3 more breaths, keep working with it. Finish your exhalation completely, and next inhale, lifting all the way up, raise your arms slowly. And exhale, hands to the heart. Standing for just a few seconds, again, feeling our height, pushing down to our legs. Probably naturally feel a little more open already, but maybe roll the shoulders back still once again. Let's drop the hands, palms open, so we can feel this full openness, the space of our heart. And next exhale, let's place the hands onto the hips. So we're going to do an exercise to really focus on strengthening our hip flexor, the muscles that we use to lift our leg to the front. And before we go into deeper stretches of our hip flexors, it's really useful to give them some conditioning or strengthening first. So you have some options again. You might want to use some support because we are going to be balancing. The easy option will be to just stay lower position actually. And we're going to have the toe pointed, okay? And the quadriceps firm, like you're engaging to lift your kneecap and straighten your leg. Okay, then the exercise is exhale up, inhale down. And you might want to even bring your leg back behind you. Then exhale. And it can be a little bit like a swing as well. In the beginning, we're going to use a little bit of the momentum to kind of help lubricate and loosen and soften the joints. And as the leg comes higher, you still want to keep the straightness, and you might do that pump of the exhale at the end of the lift. Okay, and then slowly place the leg down. Try the other side. Point, straight, really firm leg. It's like a bar. And up, back, and exhale, up. And a little bit of swing. Notice when we're doing this, we're trying to not let our chest fall backwards. So if you lose or change your position a lot, that's not it. Try to keep right on spot where you're at. And it's like only the leg is going to change. Okay? Of course, a little bit of things are happening through the pelvis and the core. Right? We want that. Back to the right leg one more time. And we're going to do it with no swinging. So now slowly exhale. Inhale. Lightly touch the ground with your toe. Exhale. Feel the thigh pull up to the navel. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Switch sides again. Slow one. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Lift and hold. And inhale down. Okay, and we do the long hold. Again, right leg, one time. Up. Breathe. Keep your chest up and open. Elbows back. If it's possible on your exhale, can the leg go higher? And slowly inhale down. Second side, last one, holding the position, exhale up. Try to reach through the leg, straight, long, and on the exhale, slightly higher. And everyone's got a less strong side. This is my less strong side for lifting my leg. Slowly down. And I would just separate the feet slightly. You can do a little bit of movement here. We're going to move into our deeper stretch first. If that was really intense, you might want to just kind of flow around with the pelvis again. Okay, and from the front of the mat, we're going to inhale to that low lunge position again. Stepping really wide back and then drop the knee. Okay, kneeling lunge. Now, if this is a stretch already with the hands down, you can keep your hands down and just lift through the chest and chin and keep letting your pelvis, your hips, sink to the front of the mat. If you want to go further, inhale, lift the chest, the hands turn out. Okay, and we can exhale, lightly touch. Inhale, lift and open. Lightly touch. 2 more times, and then we're going to hold the pose for the last 5 breaths. One more time, lifting. You can still lightly grab the ground. Let's hold and breathe. And exhale, like a string pulls the heart up. Come back to bring the hands to the ground. Now let's place both hands inside of your right foot. And we're going to try to come into what's called snail pose. Some people, you may like to use some supports. We're going to try to come down onto our forearms. So we start by lifting our knee. And feel your leg is quite strong and straight. Slide back and see if you can go lower and lower and lower until the whole forearm is on the ground, or as close to that as you can. And if you do have something that you can put your full forearms on, take that choice. Keep the left knee up, and we're going to hold 5 more breaths. And you may be feeling like, some of these things are really difficult or challenging in the morning, but I promise you the feeling, especially the lunges, splits, the back bends, when you do those in the morning, gives you a really amazing feeling and a sense of ease through your body and for your day. And let's exhale, the knees down, come back up onto the hands, and let's step our knee back. And let's do one knee chest chin here. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, push back. Inhale, lift your tail. Exhale, bend the knees halfway. Inhale, walk to flat back. And exhale, fold. And we'll come to the right leg back, inhaling to the kneeling lunge. Okay, so you can stay with the hands down if you need, or vinyasa, moving, breath and movement. Inhale, lift, exhale, lightly touch the ground. Three more times. From your tail to your head. Two. And last one, hold in the pose. Breathe, keep breathing. Exaggerate it if you need to, make it stronger. If it's uncomfortable, make the pose easier. Slowly, hands to the ground and pushing back. Bring your left hand inside of your left foot. Lift your right knee for snail pose. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, slide your right foot backwards. Come down onto your forearms or bending the elbows as much as you can. Keep the right knee lifting. And in some way, a sense of ease is what we're cultivating and developing, even through challenges, even through discomforts. And that may sound really paradoxical, but this is what yoga actually delivers, is that you can experience something like challenge and effortlessness at the same time. And if not that, you can experience challenge and face the challenge instead of running or hiding from challenges, because we experience them daily in our practice, right? We learn to manage them. We learn to study them, and we learn to befriend them, because actually they are us. They are good for us. It's like the knee down, coming back up, and stepping back to down dog. And exhaling, knees down and sitting onto our heels in Vajrasana. We'll take a moment here with the eyes closed, hands in a mudra of your choice, or connect the index and thumb on the lap. Soft hands, soft face, almost like completely kind of pausing in yourself for a moment. Noticing the effects of the practice so far this morning. And we'll move to our last stronger exercise of the morning or of your practice. So I have some options. First option is going to be the low push-up position. So you can come from a child's pose, and we want to go through and past our arms as we come into low push-up. Keep your elbows in. You can keep going back and forth or hold. Next option Crow pose. Knees outside your upper arms are hugging in onto your shoulders or upper arms. And exhaling, looking forward and leaning forward. Last option, you can do the side crow pose. Okay, so it's nice to start from a kind of chair squat and twist over. And side crow pose, I'm still keeping my knee high towards my shoulder, and I'm trying to keep my shoulders both up as I lift off the ground. There's also this pose, which some people call side crow. You could. It's another name for most schools and teachers, but different pose, okay? Because we're focusing on the twist and not the arm strength. Okay, so you can do some arm balances or upper body strength for a moment. Keep breathing. And all of the options, keep the elbows hugging in slightly. And if you haven't already, if you were doing the one side version, come to the other side. Usually exhaling into almost all strong positions and transitions. Okay, and coming back down. And we do our last knees, chest, chin. Lift the heart. Exhale back to down dog. And from here, step or walk to sit down. So you can exhale, bend the knees, and inhale one leg at a time, or stepping or hopping, however works, to cross-leg sitting. From here, take your left foot close to your right inner thigh. And coming into Janu Shirshasana, or means the head to the knee pose, one leg forward bend. Keep the right leg slightly active, the toes up. Inhale, reach up with the arms. And exhale, active body, reach forward. Feel like the lower body is pushing into the ground. And softly come into the full stretch. Let your head hang or rest onto some support. Keep your breath deepening now, more and more into your back. Keep your belly in. Few more breaths. See if you can let go deeper into the stretch. Slowly inhale, lift from the core. Change the legs on the exhale. Foot against the thigh, left toes pointing up. Inhale, reach up with your arms. Exhale, fold forward over your leg. Remember that sound in our throats, the ujjayi breathing you can more easily focus on in the passive seated poses, less active poses. And a few more breaths. With each breath softening into the pose. Taking the next inhale, lifting up all the way. And now let's exhale, bring the left foot in, right foot in. Try to bring the feet as close as you can. You can use your hands if you need to as well. If you feel any knee discomfort, you can play around with the distance of your feet. Any pose where we're asking our hip to rotate outwards. At some point, depending on how flexible you are and the condition of your knees, you may feel twisting around the knee joint. So if you do feel something like that, come out of that always, basically. Unless you're very, very familiar and you know for sure you're not damaging yourself. Okay, so with the feet together, lifting through the heart. And exhale, slowly forward again, folding. Now we probably do notice sensation around the knees sometimes, and you may notice that. So what I'm saying is if it's very new sensation, like unfamiliar to you, back off some and make sure that it's not going to cause discomfort later as well. Because sometimes that's the way it goes. In the practice, it may feel okay, and we get overzealous. But later we find out actually we were damaging our tissues too much. So take it easy when it's something new. Take your time. Get familiar and try to enjoy something deeper about the practice, like the sense of being with yourself. Not stories, not news, not social media. The feeling of being just with this one. Through the breath to the deepest sense of your being. One more minute in this pose. Scan your body. Can you release any unnecessary effort or tension? Maybe the head can feel heavier. Maybe some muscles in the back or the core can release. Take your time to begin to lift back up to upright seating. Place your legs into just simple cross legs. Make sure you can sit with a level, balanced pelvis. When I say level pelvis, basically this just means no slouching when we sit. But if we're on the floor, and again, if the body's tight, you may need something to sit on in order to sit cross legs upright. If you don't have something really convenient, I suppose we could also do, different positions, maybe like this. Although this gets more tiring after a while to keep ourselves upright. And the more the leg cross position that we're in, and the more open hips we are in, the effortless feeling of the spine staying upright increases. Okay? And this is even more true eventually when we can place the legs into the lotus position. This will create the easiest sense to be upright for the longest period of time. Okay. Find a comfortable seat and close the eyes. Connect again to your breath, riding into the sense of being. There's a very beautiful description about our breath. And generally it's saying something that the breath, if you could feel and realize and know everything that the breath entails, you would know the whole universe, or we would know our whole journey. Another way of saying this is to know the reason that you breathe, but don't give it a specific reason. Why is the breath breathing you? That kind of reason. What is this miracle of life energy and presence and transformation? When we sit for the meditative practice, if you notice some sensation or slight discomfort that you want to move or change in your body somehow, see if you can instead wait, continue to soften, and maybe the feeling passes. So this is the one little game you can play in practice here. If the sensation doesn't go away and continues to build, then you change, refresh, move a little bit, and maybe start again. But a lot of the small discomforts, small agitations, small ticks and twitches, a lot of this is all actually trying to express just a desire for movement or change. And so this manifests in the body as a kind of kick to the butt to make you go somewhere or to change something. And while at one level, being able to smoothly flow and change constantly is a very important part of practice, at a much deeper level, those changes are way, way out there, and we're sitting within a deep stillness. And if you stay in that stillness and observe those feelings, those desires or cravings, they start to fall away. Sometimes they completely fall away, and sometimes the next level down becomes revealed. As we come in this last minutes of the class today, you're welcome to stay in the seated meditation practice, or at any time you can lay down in relaxation pose, Shavasana. You may like to turn around when you lay down, so your head is to the front, your feet to the back. Continue observing. See if you can also begin to soften and slow the breath down. And imagine that you could kind of give the body a standby order as we go deeper into ourself, into the space of our mind behind our eyes, into that feeling of our life, our heartbeat, connected, sympathetic. Notice how different the you know yourself to be might be from the you begin to experience when you practice yoga. And they may be speaking on vague terms, but the you that is a form of thoughts and thought patterns, and the awareness transitioning to the you, which is the channel for experiences to become experienced. That means a presence, a being. And where did this being come from? Who am I? That question is one of the very peculiar, kind of funny ways to understand. Because the question, who am I, is the best answer to the question. And another answer would be less true. But the question, who am I, and the seeking and the substitutions of things which are connected, close, and in some sense also who we are. Yet there's a deeper truth of who we are. And the answer, who am I, to the question, who am I, is a little closer. If you're in the laying down relaxation, you can start to move the fingers one at a time, small movements. Toes one at a time, small movements. Stretching the arms and the legs. Feel the full length of your body as you stretch, reach. And with an exhale, bring the knees towards your chest. And you can choose to rock and sit up or roll to your side for a moment. Taking your time. When we're ready, closing the class together in the cross-leg position, sitting. Let's bring the hands to the heart, feeling once again our fingers, prints, lines, patterns. And let's take a moment to internally express our gratitude for those who support us. There's many beautiful people and energies in our lives that are supporting us. Some that we know, some that we'll never meet in person. Many of these are the people who have passed on knowledge, teachers. And let's express our gratitude to the universe, to the infinite, to God, to the highest ideals and morals, to your own inner voice or intuition, to that deeper sense of being, which is beyond definition. And connecting to the earth and to each other. Namaste. May we see that the true being, the true self, is equal and the same in all beings, all forms, all time, all space. And when we feel challenged by those circumstances, when we don't feel like that's a part of our true reflection, then working on ourselves in the situation to learn deeper and to depend less on the external for our identity. And it doesn't mean the external goes away. It doesn't mean the relationship goes away. It means we don't depend on that relationship for our sense of contentment, for our sense of peace, for our sense of fulfillment. How do we fulfill ourselves then? By conscious, creative action. What do you need for conscious, creative action? Only presence, and only whatever forms are here already. Whatever you have already, you can do everything that you need to do actually to fulfill yourself with this theory. I know it may sound impossible in certain circumstances, but I promise you it will be possible. If not now, very soon. And the more we practice, the more possible and the sooner. Thank you guys for joining today. So I hope you had a great practice. Short one today. We're going to keep switching around with different lengths and topics. I think for now, we'll just close there and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a great day.